Hello again. We have learned a lot about online pseudonyms in theoretical and practical terms. In this episode, we move on to the next type of actors from the big table, data brokers. We will apply our newly gained knowledge to them, explore how online pseudonyms guard you from data brokers, and of course, for the sake of impartiality, where they are not enough. Let's go. To begin, we will do a quick rehashing of what we have already written down about data brokers in the big table. By our definition from the original episode, a data broker is a company which collects, processes, and trades consumer information. The important bit is that this happens without direct interaction with the consumer. The information data brokers collect includes basic personal details like name or demographics, email addresses, payment methods, physical address, online browsing and activity history, metrics of browsed websites, posts, comments, purchases, and so on. Social connections and interactions, friends, acquaintances, or other companies or people you interact with. Data brokers employ several techniques to obtain the information they are looking for. They may scrape it from public sources, your social media, or other website accounts. They can also employ techniques like tracker cookies and browser fingerprinting to track your journey across the various pages you visit. Finally, they can just buy the data from big tech companies or standalone websites. With the collected information, data brokers build a thorough profile of yourself, including aspects like your demographics, location, browsing habits, interests, social connections. They segment the profiles in groups by some criteria. Then, they sell the structured segmented data to third parties. The important takeout is that the whole process happens without your involvement. You have no control over it. This was a recap of what we learned about data brokers the last time when we visited them in the big table of actors. Now, let's add online pseudonyms to the mix and examine how they disrupt data brokers' plans. The first group of benefits from online pseudonyms come from the separation they create from your real self. Using fictitious personal data online, like name, age, physical address, and so on, makes the profile which data brokers build irrelevant, since they don't reflect a real existing person. Furthermore, if you create multiple online pseudonyms for the different use cases, it will additionally impede data brokers. They will end up with fractured blobs of data split between multiple profiles with different names, emails, addresses, etc., which are difficult for data brokers to coalesce into a single person representing the real you. Second, if you combine online pseudonyms with browser isolation, it makes it hard for data brokers to use browser cookies and fingerprinting, and from there to track your journey across the internet. Again, they will end up with browsing history split between several different profiles, which are hard to link together. The 2 points above also apply to the third parties to which data brokers sell the aggregated data. Ideally, they will also end up with fractured information about non-existent people. The other big benefit of online pseudonyms we discussed was the ability to revoke information which has already been shared. This can come up handy when dealing with data brokers. Like we said, you have no control over who data brokers sell your profile to. It could be actors who indulge in some distasteful activities like scams, spamming, or cyber theft. Should that happen, online pseudonyms give you the capability to cheaply revoke the compromised payment method, email, or physical address, or phone number. These were some nice advantages online pseudonyms give you when dealing with data brokers. Let us flip the coin now and see where online pseudonyms are not enough. How much protection online pseudonyms give you depends a lot on where the data brokers got the information from. If they took it from random websites, then online pseudonyms give you the nice upsides which we listed above. However, data brokers may obtain the information from actors with higher capabilities of reaching into your data. For example, when we talked about cybercriminals and big tech companies, we mentioned that they have tools to directly scan the content of your phone or other devices, and thus completely circumvent the online pseudonyms. This may expose your real, non-fictitious information. By extension, data brokers will also come into possession of it should they buy it from these big tech companies or cybercriminals. Then, data brokers will operate with your actual information, despite the best effort you put into using an online pseudonym. To summarize, online pseudonyms shield you by supplying data brokers with partially complete and partially correct information. How correct and how complete it is depends on things in your control, like practicing browser isolation on top of online pseudonyms, or generally abstaining from oversharing personal stuff over the internet, as well as things outside of your control, like the sources from which data brokers get the information, and how much these sources know about you. Still, online pseudonyms give you a fighting chance to revoke most critical pieces of information, should data brokers resell it to malicious actors. In this episode, we went back to data brokers in the big table of factors and summarized how much privacy, anonymity, and security online pseudonyms give you. We tried to be objective and impartial in our estimation. We also mentioned big tech companies as one of the sources of information for data brokers. So, in the next episode, we will do the same exercise with big tech companies.